What's up, guys? This is Sean from Die Laughing Studios, and today I'm going to take a look at NECA's Ultimate Gizmo figure. Now, I know I'm a little late to the party on this. This came out sometime in May, I do believe. I was unable to get the pre-order till sometime in June. For some odd reason, they got a little delayed at Big Badass Toy Store, or whatever it's called, Big Bad Toy Store, I believe. But nevertheless, I do have the Gremlins figure here, and I'm going to take a little time here to review it. These are my favorite kind of NECA figures. I only have one other NECA figure that came in blister packaging, and that would be the New Nightmare Freddy. I just couldn't pass them up because I would say that my three favorite Freddy movies are the first one, the third one, and the seventh one, which is New Nightmare. But enough about Freddy, let's get into Gremlins. Gremlins I was a pretty big fan of. I'm not a huge die-hard fan of Gremlins, but I do love them. And who could resist Gizmo? I mean, he's great. Now, if you take a look at this packaging, it looks just like, you know, the movie DVD cover, the movie poster, etc. It's really well done. On the back, it shows you just a little bit of, you know, different poses of Gizmo, and this one down here happens to be my favorite. You can see that on camera. I don't know if you can, but we're going to take a closer look at it a little later anyway, so we'll get to look at the packaging, the figure itself, and everything like that. But first, let's open this guy up and take a look at the inside. Here we have Gizmo in his one of my favorite poses, one of my favorite parts of the movie, where he just gets all badass and says, "Fuck these gremlins, I created them and I can take them out." And right there, that shows just how badass he is. Now, if you look in here, you'll see that they have you know, obviously the Gizmo figure, which is a 4-inch figure, which I'm not quite used to yet because I'm used to 6 to 7-inch figures, but it's cool. It makes sense because he's a little smaller guy. He's not going to be full size like a normal NECA figure. He also has 3 faces right down here, and the one he has on him now, so that's 4 different faces he can have, which is pretty cool. I think I have the Nightmare on Elm Street Part 3, which has, no, the Part 1 has 3 heads, so that's pretty cool, but I've never seen one with 4. He also has his trumpet, his trademark candy cane, his trademark, you know, arrow, I guess you could say. He also has his bow somewhere in here. Oh, there it is. There's his bow. There's his arrow, which is actually a pencil and a like a milk bottle or something. Again, I haven't watched the movie in years, so don't get mad at me if I don't know everything perfectly. He's got a little trumpet there. And, you know, Gizmo himself, of course. I mentioned that before. This is a really awesome figure, so no, what I'm going to do is I'm going to actually open this up and take a closer look at it right here, right now. And then we'll even look at it a little bit closer to see a little bit more detail on it. This is just a basic unboxing I'm doing right here, right now. So let's open this guy up and take a look and see what we got inside. It still has a tape on here. I don't like that they put tape on these packages, but it's cool. I should have brought something over here on camera so I could actually open it, but just bear with me here while I try to get this tape without messing up the packaging. Now, I usually open all my figures because I want to look at them, display them. I have little display stands that I put them on. I have a little shelf in there that I put all my figures on. I'm working on painting like a better shelf with glass doors and stuff like that. Getting that all set up, putting LEDs in it and stuff. But right now, I just have it on a bookcase. The only figure that I have not opened was the Ultimate Freddy Part 3, which I'm actually going to do a review on as well. It came out a while ago, like last year at some point, but I still kind of want to do a review on it. That one I'm not going to open. I'll just kind of show you the packaging, stuff like that, because I want to have Robert Englund sign it one day. But the problem with that is I live in North Carolina and he doesn't really come around this area to conventions. I know he still does conventions, but he doesn't come around this area. So nevertheless, I would probably have to send it to him and get him to sign it. Just haven't been able to do that financially right now. I mean, it's not that expensive. It's $80 or $90 per item. But I would rather, for that price, I'd rather meet the guy. Anyways, we're going to open this up and take a closer look at it here. Let's see what we have. Alright, I'm going to break this guy out. I'm not going to try to take out everything. And I do like these boxes. They're cool. It does have like a background here. It's kind of hard to make out. Looks like just like now forgive me for not knowing the character's name, but you know, the main character movie, it looks like his bedroom, kind of blurry though. But that's cool. Let's set this box down to the side here so we can take a closer look at what we have here. Oh, that's cool. I didn't know this, but you can actually move his eyes. If you could see right there, you could roll a trackball and actually move Gizmo's eyes. That makes it cool. That makes it even cooler. It's already cool to begin with, but that makes it even cooler. Alright, let's see if I can figure out how to open this. Okay, so you pull that off. Now you know what I like about this? This is one thing that I don't really like about NECA figures. The only gripe that I have with them, often when they package these things, they put like twist ties on them to hold them in, but that becomes a pain in the ass because they're hard to get out and they're hard to get out of the case. But this just has like a blister like shell that goes over it that holds everything in. That's what they need to start doing for every figure if possible. That'll make it a lot easier to get to. So let's pull out Gizmo first. Now again, you know, it's going to be hard to get these out because they are in here pretty well. Just dropped one of the faces. Alright, now I actually pulled his face off, and this is pretty horrifying. When you look at his face without the you know, the actual cover on it. Let me snap that back on. Alright, and there was a protected thing here. Alright, let's see. Now, you probably can't see that very well, but I'll get into it later. You can actually move his eyes. But he's actually pretty well made. It's got a little bit of weight to him. Check him out there. Alright. He doesn't move a whole lot. He moves his hands. Moves his hands a little bit and his feet, but he's not really super movable, which is cool. Now, I want to show you something. If you take the face off of him, now look at that. That is fucking horrifying. That's just scary right there. I may display him like that just to freak people out. But anyway, that's one of his faces. And it's pretty ingenious how they made this. And this is the one where he's kind of sad. I'll just show you one of them because I'm going to get into this a little bit deeper here in a moment. Let me try to get this guy on here. Alright. Well, sometimes these can be a pain to try to get on, but just bear with me. That's the one where he's kind of sad, so on and so forth. But what we're going to do is we're going to take a little closer look at it and, you know, get an idea of what, you know, different things, different faces we could put on, and different accessories we can use. And let's take a little closer look at it right now. Alright, and here we have Gizmo in all his splendor. Look at this little guy, we love him. And right now I'm just basically showing how you can move his eyes back and forth. That's a pretty cool feature. It's not the greatest looking thing I've ever seen, but it is a cool feature to have where you can move the eyes back and forth like that. Just testing it out and showing you how you can move the eyes left and right. Now I'm going to take off this face and show you one of the other many faces that Gizmo has. Now that is just scary right there. Look at that. Grab this other face here. And this one, the sad looking face is a little harder to get on, so do be careful when you're trying to put these faces on, as some of them could be a little bit snug and harder to get on. This is his sad face. I do like that face, even though it makes me sad seeing Gizmo sad, because who wants Gizmo sad? There he is right there, and there's the eye movement once again. It's pretty cool how Gizmo, how NECA did this. They just basically cut out different eyes holes and made different expressions on his face to get the effect. Now here's his next face here. This one went on pretty snug. That's kind of his sleepy, drunk, happy, stoned face. That's the best way I can explain it. I do like that face as well. The eyes move pretty well. Sometimes the left eye, well, as you're looking at it here, it's his left eye, but it's really his right. Gets a little messed up and doesn't want to move in at the same time as the right one, or the left one rather. But it's not too bad. That's a good face. I do enjoy that one. This one right here is my favorite face of all four of the ones that we have available. This is his badass ninja, I guess, like Rambo type face, I guess you could say. He has the bandana here. Again, you can move his eyes. His eyes are more squinted because he's kind of pissed off and had enough of the Gremlins fucking with his shit. Now, here I'm going to try to set up the actual arrow and the bow, which is kind of a pain in the ass to do. It took me a little while to actually set it up. It doesn't fit in his hands properly, and I decided to put the old Santa hat on him. Why not, you know? Even though it doesn't fit with that bandana on. But at first I thought that, you know, this bow and arrow fit in his hand. I actually had to look at the packaging several times to get this right. You actually don't put it in his hand, you kind of lean it up against it. It's kind of a weird thing, but nevertheless, I did eventually get it here. Again, I am struggling to try to get this to work properly. I had to look at the packaging several times to see actually how they did it and how they set it up. I don't know exactly how I'm going to set this up on the shelf. It may be a little bit too flimsy to have it stand there all the time. I may just put the stuff next to him. That is a really cheap accessory. Don't get me wrong, you know, he really did use like a clothespin or something like that to make his bow in the real movie. I don't know if it was a clothespin, safety pin, or what it was, but it was some normal household thing. So it's meant to look like that, and I get that, but it's really, really flimsy, and it could break pretty easily, but it's actually quite flexible, so you probably have a better chance of breaking the pencil than you would the actual bow. The pencil is, you know, plastic. Everything's really well made here, but see how I'm struggling to get this to stand up. I actually got it to stand up there, and then it fell. This is a really well made figure. He has a lot of weight to him. The one thing is kind of weird about this figure is at the bottom of his feet do not have a place to put an actual stand, so you have to stand him as he is, which is fine because he actually stands up pretty well being so short and his feet are kind of wide, so it's not too bad actually standing him up. The problem is with the accessories, which I don't blame NECA for that. It's kind of hard to create things like this, and they did a really great job on this figure. I have no complaints, just minor ones, just because all my other figures actually held their stuff. And see, I got it on the first try right there, and that's an awesome looking pose right there. I really do like that a lot. And here's a shot of all the accessories, the faces, the hat, the cane, candy cane rather, the trumpet, and then we got Gizmo standing above all of it with his samurai, Rambo, whatever face. I do apologize for my shaky camera work here. Trying to get the best shot I could. And there's all the accessories again, the bow and arrow, the hat, Santa hat, the candy cane, the trumpet, and all three faces. And here we have the actual box. I showed you this earlier in the other part of the video. I did not show you the back of it too much. I showed you a little bit of it, but we want to check this out a little bit further here. And if we zoom in, it does have a little kind of a story here. A gadget salesman is looking for a special gift for his son and finds one in a store in Chinatown. The shopkeeper is reluctant to part with the mogwai, but sells it to him with the warning to never expose him to bright light, water, or to feed him after midnight. After this happens, and the result is a gang of gremlins that decide to tear up the town on Christmas Eve. Alright, right here we have the different faces and poses that Gizmo will do. That's pretty cool how they have him coming out of the little chest there. I don't know if they actually sell that little chest where he comes out of. That will be pretty interesting. There we go. A little close-up view of the different poses and stuff that Gizmo does. That right there being my favorite of all time. And that's about it. And also, we're going to show you a brief look at the inside. Now, I took all the blister packaging out. The light that I have is glaring off the box a little bit more than I would like it to. Trying to get the best shot I can here. Yeah, that looks good right there. We actually have Gizmo on the inside, you know, taking a look at him. Beautifully done. They set him up real well. And that's about it for the NECA figure review of the Ultimate Gizmo. Thanks for watching, and have a good one.